Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Functional Friday. My name is Dr. Kirk here at Premier Chiropractic, and today is going to be part 2 of breaking down the squat. Now, today we're going to start with some tweaks you can make if you are feeling like you can't keep your balance as you try to get into a deeper squat pattern. One of the first things that you can do is do what's called a goblet squat, okay? So, probably best done with a kettlebell, but can be done with a dumbbell as well, okay? So this is a 25-pound kettlebell. And as we come down into the squat now, we just know that this weight is now in front of us. So like I said last time, a lot of times when people get deep into a squat, they feel like they're gonna fall back. Okay, so if you're getting into a squat with this kettlebell out in front of you, it balances the load. Okay, so it allows you to come down and then back up. And if you wanna look at that from the side, this is with no heel lift, mind you, and down and back up. So it allows me to stay in a better posture in terms of my spine, okay? So that's really, really important, and it's something we can do when we're starting to add weight to a squat. Now, a lot of people, and this was developed kind of by Mike Boyle, was the one who's really put a different spin on this kind of, it was called the Bulgarian split squat before. Now it's called a rear foot elevated split squat more often. And what this is it takes the double leg stance of a squat and it turns it into a single leg stance. Okay, so we'll look at that now. Okay, so this is what you perform a rear foot elevated split squat on. Okay, some people do it on a bench, that's fine. You just gotta make sure it's not too tall, because if it's too tall, it's gonna alter some dynamics of this thing. Okay, so as I go to get into the starting position of a rear foot elevated split squat, this is going to be the starting position. Now, if people have really, really tight hip flexors and quads, they're gonna have a tough time getting into this position. So they should just start with a regular split squat, which I can show a little later on. But this would be the next progression after a regular split squat, okay? Now these machines here, this is one I just made myself out of PVC pipe and half a foam roller. But you can buy them online on Perform Better and things like that. Or you can just make your own. It's very, very easy. Okay, so the keys here as we're performing a rear foot elevated split squat is we want to make sure the core is stable, okay, and that we have no deviation of the knee in as we're coming up, okay? So as I brace there, coming up, okay, I'm a little wobbly here, but we'll come back down and back up, and down, and back up, and down. So as you can see, if we look at how that's looking in the hips and the low back, so what it can do is it can save your low back from coming into lumbar flexion, because that doesn't happen during this movement, okay? There's no back bending forward during that movement. Everything's stable and upright, so that's why a lot of people like that. Now, your hips are gonna be flexed like this, the other hip's gonna be extended back, so it gives a little torque and it gives you the feeling of training one leg versus two, which I would argue, and which Mike Boyle argues, is the proper way to be training for the majority of athletic events that we play, okay? So, there's the argument that this will also upset kind of this nice bowl that our pelvis makes, but I think when we compare that to the alterations that it can make to our spine, I think this is a better exercise than just loading up a regular squat for a majority of people. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but for some people, this is a very, very good exercise, okay? So that's one alteration you can make. Now, if you want to add load to this thing, you can obviously use a few different modifications. You can use a dumbbell. I like the kettlebell. First thing you can do is just hold it in front, like that, brace, and then come up and down and up. Okay, so that's one modification you can make. You can also hold the kettlebell in the rack position. So that's here, shoulder blades tucked back and down, bracing, and then you come up and down, just like that. So there's a few modifications you can make off that exercise. It's a very, very good exercise to stay safe while also performing these movements. Okay, so that was the frontal view. Now we're going to show you a side view of this thing. As we put our back leg up, right? Same thing, rear foot elevated, right? Rear foot is up, split squat. Okay, from there, we're going to brace, come up, and down, up, and down. Now, as you can probably see, if this thing is too high, it's not going to work. It's just going to alter you. It's going to make you have anterior pelvic tilt on this side because it's pulling everything forward. That anterior pelvic tilt is going to lead to you having a lot of lean in your low back. You don't want to do that. You want to keep everything straight from the bottom up, braced, up, down, up, down. So that is how the rear foot elevated split squat should be performed, and it's one that I recommend you try out. It's a good, safer alternative to a regular squat for a lot of people. Okay, if you have any questions about this exercise, make sure to ask before doing it. So thanks to everyone for tuning in today. If you haven't already liked our Facebook page, make sure to give it a like. Premier Chiropractic here in Minot, North Dakota. If you haven't already checked out our website, premierchiropracticnd.com. And if you have a problem, make sure to give us a call now before it becomes a bigger problem later on. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Everyone have a great day.